Hello again, this is Nathaniel, and today we're going to take a look at Barbara Ann, 1986 Grand Banks 42 that just had a nice price reduction. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at this beautiful Grand Banks, very well built boat, nice, well kept and equipped. It's located here in San Diego and Coronado at Fiddler's Cove Marina right now. That's a military marina, so unless you're active duty or retired, chances are slim of you keeping the boat here. But luckily for us, slips down in South Bay are opening up, and of course it's always easier to find a slip up in Long Beach or thereabouts. Alright, let's go take a look. Alright, here, nice little panoramic shot of the boat. Grand Banks 42, almost 46 foot overall. Look at this pulpit up here, double bow roller. You have a nice CQR as well as a Danforth up there. That is a brand new anchor roller on the port side. We'll take a little closer look, and of course an electric windlass as well. Nice storage box up there. Here we have the salon. Big spacious Flybridge with bimini, windscreen, and more. This boat does have the original teak decks. Let's take a look. They're nice and thick teak, could be refinished. Some people would just replace or tear it off and do non-skid. I haven't been able to find any soft spots on this deck yet, which is always a concern with teak decks. Here we are towards the aft end of the boat. This dinghy cradle. We have a crane as well. I was a little surprised to put in the crane because on these Grand Banks, of course, you have a mast. And this particular boat still has its steadying sail. It's covered underneath that blue sail cover, which is in nice shape, but it actually has a steadying sail. Most are gone. And then the owner did just re-rig this steadying sail just a couple months ago. Let's hop on board and take a look. So when we look at this teak, everybody wants to know about the condition of the teak. This boat's teak is in okay shape, but there are spots that need repair. Let's see, you can see here on the edging here where it's broken off. That's not a big deal. I honestly would probably, if I bought this boat, I'd probably tear off the old teak and put down non-skid. It's cheaper, lasts a good amount of time, and I'd say overall better. This boat also needs some attention to the varnish work. All right, this bright work is no longer bright, and should be removed with a heat gun and sanded or bleached and repainted. So no doubt about that. All right, so back here, well, let's start back here. Back here in this aft, I guess you could call it a cockpit, we have access to the lazarette. In here, well, we've got some extra stuff down there. Actually, that there is a removable, it hangs on the back on these little hooks or eyes. Live well. And then over here are the water tanks. The water tanks, you actually, there's 3 of them, and you open up these hatches to access them. Back here you'll also have access to where the emergency tiller is. There's the CF number, some spare gas tanks, things like that. Alright, and then back here you also see your shore power input. The cool thing about these boats is there's a shore power input here in the aft gunnel, as well as at the front of the boat, at the bow of the boat. There's another one there, so you don't have to have a super long electrical cord. You can just plug in at the front or the back. Alright, there's the large windlass up front. Double bow roller. The bow roller on the left is new. And then here we have a little access here. Not access, a little bit of storage there. Here's our windshield. Glass, of course. Wooden frame. Decent shape. And then you got your windscreen up top. VHF antenna, as well as probably another VHF antenna. Alright, let's walk around this way. Great thing about these GB42s is you have a full walk-around deck. Single level, no steps once you're on this boat to get you all around the vessel. Alright. There's that steadying sail. And crane. Radar. A little TV antenna. Little whip up there. Not sure which radio that's for. A couple speakers back here. Always plenty of seating on a Grand Banks. I like these forward and aft, forward and aft facing benches. Also have plenty of storage underneath there. For all of your safety gear and whatnot. Now up here at the helm, well, if you were to look in here, you got some more storage. Plenty of room there to keep all your crap. And then right here, you have access to your... Alright, what is that? That's an old Loran. Loran's no longer function. But no good reason to take it out. It's out of the way. That's a new Fusion stereo Bluetooth. So you can control that from your phone. Don't even have to turn on the... listen to the radio waves. Here's a standard Verizon VHF, newer model, Quest XGX 1500S with cover. And then close that up. Let's see what else is over here. You have an auto helm. All right. I'm not going to power it up now, but I have powered it up in the past. Seems to work properly. And here are all of your gauges, port motor, tachometer, coolant temperature, port, starboard, and oil pressure, of course. And then we got some buttons over here for starting, so you can start your motors from up here, as well as stop, horn, and then windlass control. This compass has seen better days. Might just need some little polish and some more fluid in there. But if you haven't driven a twin screw vessel before, on the right with the red knobs, these are your gas for port, starboard motor, and these are your transmissions, forward and reverse. A couple more speakers up here as well. And we do have a nice bimini here. It's all wrapped up now, keep it out of the wind. but that is in decent shape as well. Alright, here we go. Back down. Now let's check out the salon. Alright. One thing that you'll love about these Grand Bags 42s is their spacious salon and a galley up design. They are fantastic. One of the classic tried and true layouts. I have another Grand Bags 42 that has an L-shaped galley, which is pretty rare. Shortly after they switched to this design, that's in 1968. This is in 86. But I mean, they did this basic layout in 1974. You know, for a long time as well. You just don't see the L-shaped ones that often. I like the L-shaped, but these are the money makers. These are the ones. This is the design that was the most popular. All right, we got big windows. Sorry, I got the shades pretty much closed in here. And then, of course, your helm over here. Well, let's start at the helm. Of course, you have all of your standard gauges, just like up top. What reads here is 2,842 hours on starboard and 3,250 on port. Most likely, it's 3,250 all around. And then you have synchronizer control here as well. Little instructions how to activate that. Pretty much all synchronizers were made by Glendinning, so a lot of people out there that can repair them. And for electronics, this is where all your gear is. Down below here at the lower helm, this is your radar. Oh, come on. Okay, set you down. There we go. All right. So, Fruno radar we saw up top. We powered it on a little while. Seems to function fine. This is a hailer, so you can holler at people around you. GPS map 220. Not a touch screen one. Not newer, probably 2000-ish. And then here we have the standard Horizon, VHF, another autopilot control down here, of course, and then we have an alarm panel. So if these guys start to go off, or if you leave your engine room lights on, then you see those right here from the helm. Nice, quick, and easy. And then here's your depth sounder, compass, ship's clock. And let's look over here to the right. On the starboard side of the wheel, we have some other controls. Right? Horn, windshield wiper, little TCN. This is your windlass control, as well as breaker. And then AC volts. As you can see, we're hooked up to shore power at 120. And then I think that's AC amps there. We got a couple other controls down below. I can't quite see them with my eye yet, but those are simple lever switches. And then here, a little glare, is the this is the DC panel. All right. Don't have much going on here right now. All right. That's amps. Got nothing really going on right now. AC supply, and then this is your AC panel. I'll look down here. This is where you can select whether you're going to go pull your AC from the forward or the aft input. Here's the hour meter for the genset. We're at 1297, it looks like. And all right, we've got the battery charger on. Everything else is off. And then you have your generator start controls here as well. All right, let's see here. All right, let's flip flip it around and, well, let's take a look at the ship's bar. All right, here's the ship's bar. Famous Grand Banks ship's bar. Here we are. Ice maker. I don't know if that works or not. Maybe we get some storage. An old Guinness. Some cool. Oh, let's open it up all the way so you can see. Ta-da! Grand Banks, as always, likes to put their bar right next to the helm. Just makes sense. You have a little bit of storage here for charts. And then underneath this, can. All right, let's check out the galley. All right, let's start up here. Paper towel holder. Plenty of room for all your cups and plates. Here, nice big single stainless sink. Galley vent control. On 3-burner electric stove with oven below. Everything looks good there. And underneath the sink, plenty of storage for all the stuff you need and don't need. All right. And then here is the refrigerator, Sub-Zero refrigerator. I do believe that these Sub-Zero refrigerators can be adjusted down to be freezers. On this particular vessel, this one is functional. Fridge works fine. And then they have this one set up to be a freezer. But there is a problem with that, and it is not currently functioning. I don't know what the problem is. The Keurig does come with the sale of the boat. There's a little microwave, plenty of countertop space for entertaining and prepping food. Now, let's open up these little hideaway doors. Got another stereo. This is the Fusion Bluetooth stereo for the salon. Plenty more storage down here. Games. All right, here we have an L-shaped settee. 2 chairs as well, matching. I think original. Here is the air conditioning and heating control for the salon. There are 3 units on this vessel. One in the aft cabin, one in the forward stateroom, and one here in the salon. Bose speakers as well in the salon, and here's that Grand Banks placard. Right, this was hole number 939, built in Singapore. Before they were built in Singapore, they were built in Hong Kong, and yeah, good stuff. Let me turn on the lights in the aft cabin real quick. I've got all the breakers off. Aft cabin lights. Boom. And let's turn the forward cabin lights on too. Might as well turn the salon lights. All right. Let's go to the forward salon first. Forward salon. Large V berth up here. Right. All right, up here, AC outlet. Here's your air conditioning control for the V-berth. 2 large cushions, no filler cushion here, so you're either putting your heads together up there and next to the chain locker, or your head's back here and your feet can touch. You do have 2 large sliding windows in your V-berth, which is great. Get some nice airflow down here. And let's check out. Here's your chain locker. one chain, and then there's another bag for the second. This paneling is in great shape, and there's also a nice amount of storage up here in the V-berth with 6 nice drawers and storage right there too. I forget what's under there. Let's check it out. Okay, just some storage there. Some more storage there. Here's your AC condenser for the V-berth. Mystery solved. All right, we got these two. This large hanging locker over here as well. There we go. We just got some tools down there right now. A big old hanging locker. And then off here, we have the forward head. All right. Vacuum flush. These units were replaced, I think, around 2015. There you are. You have a separate shower head with controls, as well as a, not in use right now, but you could put up a curtain there on that curtain rod, make it a dry head, and nice teak grate here underfoot. Good amount of storage for your toiletries, whether inside or out. And back here you have easy access to the back of your electrical panels from this forward head compartment. Very nice. Alright, now what's underfoot? There's one hatch down here in the V-berth, and yeah, just simple access to a relatively clean bilge. Nice to have that access. And here you can access the engine room from this area as well. If you pull up those steps, they simply swivel up, and you have a little holder you can attach them to. We'll turn on the engine room lights now as well. All right, let's go check out the aft cabin, or the captain's quarters. All right, what do we got? 1, 2, 3 steps, and then you're down to this very, very spacious aft cabin, which can also be accessed from the aft deck. Here we are. So on the starboard side over here, I'd call this a double. And over here, I would call it a large twin. 3 drawers underneath each bed. Well, this one is a large one. I think this is for charts. Let's make sure. Yep. So the large chart drawer, as well as the others. It is deep, so I'm sure you could shove some stuff underneath there as well. A couple of newer West Marine speakers. Is West Marine, right? Oh, Jensen Marine, not West Marine. Nice bookshelf here, and then of course a 6-drawer. Bit of cabinetry as well. And on this port side, you have your air conditioning control for this aft cabin unit. All right, here is the head. Separate, newer vacuum flush unit there as well. And here we are in the head. All right. Separate shower stall with shower curtain. Nice little storage area for whatnots. And a little storage area here behind the head as well. A spare toilet seat. And underneath, even more. Well, we've got a little hatch down here. Let's check it out. Nice clean bilge. Looks like fresh water supply for that head. Let's see what else we got back here underneath this rug. Just some bilge access. Alright. Nice dry bilge. Looks to be an old capped off through hole. Some electrical cables. Alright. And look at this. We've got two large doors to an immense hanging locker. I don't know if you can quite see that there with this. I think there's a light in there. Oh, I must not have that light on. There is an automatic light that should come on when I open that, but currently not activated. Big old hanging locker. Oh, there's a little light. All right, and then underneath the steps here as well, they all hinge up for a little more storage opportunity. All right, check out this table. You know, the table is removable. You got these little quick releases down here, so you can take the whole thing off if you like, to give you better access to the engine room. But for our purposes today, we can just jump down in here from here. All right, here we are in the engine room. Just going to take a look around. We've got twin Super 135s by Ford-Lehman. Very common motor. These are naturally aspirated. There's your water heater, a 20-gallon capacity. Big enough, plenty big enough for any sort of liveaboard function. That's an accumulator tank to help smooth out the water pressure and reduce the cycling of your freshwater pump. This here looks to be a saltwater washdown pump. Over here, this is, I believe, is a bilge pump. Here's the through hole, an older style one with your raw water filter for strainer. These hoses are that one that comes down from there. That's the sink drain. A couple large, I think they're 8D batteries in here. And then your battery charger. It's like a 3-bank charger and 40 amp capacity. If we look up at the ceiling, this is the Glendenning engine synchronizer, which helps synchronize your motors so that they're running at the same speed, and also sort of prevents some harmonic vibrations. Over here we have an inverter plumbed into the battery bank to create 110 volt electricity while you're underway and don't have the generator on. Look at all these looms of wire and Very nicely organized in classic Grand Banks fashion. That thing hanging down there is the manual bilge pump that you can access from right next to the helm. There's an engine room vent fan. There's one over there on the starboard side as well as the port side. Good for evacuating gases in case of all sorts of things. But yeah, not as imperative on a diesel motor as with gas. Gas motors, of course, you've always got to flip on that switch every single time that you're going to start the motor. Make sure that there's no gas fumes or you might have an explosion. Diesel's much safer, but you still should have the engine room vents. And then over here we got some nice new battery cable over here. I don't know if you can see that. Nice Ancor Marine battery cable. Here's the through hole and the raw water strainer for the starboard motor. There's the front of it. In the background, you can see the vacuum flush unit for the forward head, as well as the poo tank, blackwater tank, as for, I think both heads use that one blackwater tank, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, I'm often mistaken. Yeah, there's the input for that. And then, but the other vacuum flush unit is below the sink in the aft head. There's the transmission. Well, mixing elbow, oil filter, engine mount down here, transmission, direct shaft. We have there's pivot valve as well as the shaft seal back there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the other side. There we go. There's the exhaust for the genset. Sorry, my apologies, didn't show the genset, but here it is. Starts right up. All right. Well, thanks for taking a look at Barbara Ann with me. This 1986 Grand Banks 42 is a fantastic vessel. You know, these were built with lower horsepower, simple motors. You're not having to rebuild turbos and do all sorts of crazy stuff. She is a beauty of a vessel, ready for cruising. Partying or living aboard. Please give me a call if you want to check her out. And also don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel here. I'm getting a bunch of subscribers and that's pretty neat. I can use more. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.